Hey buddies, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the new chapter of In Transmission. The current clips are me playing the Singularity on the new map, as well as just a regular old map. The build is Deadlock, Ruin, Machine Learning, and Devour Hopes, if you want to use it. As well as, well, the add-ons, they don't matter. It's up to you what you want to use. The Singularity's power is the ability to shoot bipods, which allow you to they kind of act like cameras for you. You can shoot something called the slipstream right through them, and this will infect survivors. And if you look through your bipod again, or you're right in front of them and shoot them with your power, you can teleport right behind them and go to overclock mode. In overclock mode, you don't move faster unless you have the area as an add-on for that. However, you do volt faster, you break pallets faster, and if you have a pallet slammed on top of your head like that in the clip, it just breaks, but you're slowed down quite a bit, which works well for the character because as I've read the lore and shit, it's the whole point of, hey, it's, you know, an AI, it's not gonna be stunned, I guess. I mean, it will be. It does happen. But in overclock mode, I mean, it's like full on, I'm AI now. When you look through the bipods, you do become undetectable, so you can kind of get surprise hits on people coming up like, oh, they didn't suspect to see you there, and boom, there you are. Um, yeah. And the Singularity is a lot of fun. His perks and his powers are interesting. His perks are kind of interesting for the fact of the one that I'm using in this build is machine learning. Whenever you kick a gen, it becomes compromised, and whenever it becomes finished, you practically become undetectable, and you have a haste aspect for like 10 to 30 seconds, I believe. I don't remember correctly. You are able to, it's basically just to be like, hey, hello, you completed a gen, I'm out of nowhere. And, you know, let's see. His other perks, you have, uh, forced hesitation, where if you down somebody with anybody within a 16-meter radius is slowed down by like 20%. So it's usually to stop flashlight squads from being like, hey, we're gonna abuse it and constantly be around you, and they can't run up to you and all that jazz unless they have background player. Let's see. Another one I can think of is the genetic limits. Whenever the somebody heals another survivor, the healer becomes exhausted for, at max, I believe, 36 seconds. Maybe more, maybe less. Give or take a few. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's a little harder, I think, on uh, controller because there's not as much fine-tuning as it is on, say, the computer. And so it's a constant, hey, you think you see somebody and then it's a little weird on console compared to PC from what I've seen. So it's like, hey, you know, what am I gonna do? Let's see. The Survivor, interesting. He's okay. His perks are off the charts. Made for this, feels, you can tell when people have it because the chase will be a little longer than normal. It's like a mini hope because it's a mini hope, but instead of 7% it gives you 3% speed boost for like as long as you're injured, and then whenever you heal somebody you have in 10 seconds of endurance. So it's like, hey, I healed somebody, and you know, I run faster, so it's like a mini dead hard as well if the survivor's like right there and you just finish healing. Um, I've also seen a lot of more dead hards as of late when using or playing the new chapter with specifically with the fact of, hey, made for this is is usable when you're not exhausted, but it does not inflict exhaustion. So why not use a perk that's situational, you know? Why not use like dead hard? You could use balanced landing. You can use, God, you can use smash hit, which I don't, which brings me to an idea I had, which is with the Singularity, with him being able to break pallets. I've wondered if hubris would be a thing, but it's whenever they stun you, I think, and all. But it's a thought, right? Hubris might work, it might not. He's hit and he's slowed down exponentially, but he's still going. Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, the perks for the survivor is like you've already did made for this. You've got scavenger, which allows whenever you have an empty toolbox in your hand to practically be like you once you get like four, I think it's no five grade skill checks on a generator. You now work 50% slower on a gen for the next 30 seconds. However, you fully replenish the toolbox, and you can look through a chest once per trial to find a basic toolbox in it. It's guaranteed basic toolbox, nothing more, nothing less. Because you can't really go less than a basic toolbox. Yeah, excuse me. Let's see. It's made for this. It was scavenger. You have one where oh wow, I don't remember it. It's it's a perk. All right. You gotta give it to Give me 1 second. So the perk is troubleshooter. You whenever you chase the killer, if you pre-drop a pallet, basically you see the killer for 6 seconds, which allows no mind gaming from the killer, and instead they have to basically break the pallet, if anything, or extend the chase. For the rest of it, it is you see the gens or with the most amount of progress. So it allows the survivors to get away for the most progress gens, so they're not sandbagging the whole team. Especially since with the build I was playing with at the time, everybody was exposed, and if they were downed, I could kill them with Devour Hope. They can never really find it. And speaking of the hex, hexes on this map are a lot of fun for the fact that they're not easy to find because they blend in with the surroundings or they're hidden in the bushes and all. And it's nice. It's nice to be able to run a hex build without having to lose all of it already. However, Ruin was found first because it was in Killer Shack. It was right in front of them where they were gonna see it. But either way, they never found my Hex to our help. It was a surprisingly quick game after a long night of other ones where it was just like I was worried I was gonna get this video made. I had recorded these videos, these clips specifically, in hopes that I would have anything for y'all. Just so at least by today, because today's Wednesday, now I'm recording the audio and uploading, that y'all would have something. It's been a minute. I know Monday I thought I was gonna have one, but I was at the same time I was like, you know what? My best idea would probably be, hey, I don't upload. I wait for the chapter to come out, and then I give my thoughts and all on it. And yeah, me personally, I think it's all great. The map in general, beautiful to look at. A little hard to play. It's a bit big, and a bit big I mean like it could be smaller. It definitely could. And also, it definitely could be smaller and still be nice and work well. I think some parts of the maps are going to be easier for other killers to defend than others. I think Myers might be able to do better with a more blocked, the other side of the, like that side where you just saw me looking. Not the open space, but the more forested area. I think that would be better because it's more for stealth killers. Because it's more, yeah, in here it's more blocked off. It's not as open. But it's also harder because the three Jennings is not easy on this map, as I can see with some of these areas where it's behind complex new loops. One of these loops includes a pallet and a little ramp, so you think, oh, you know, the killer or the survivor can use these and get around the pallet, but if they go right to the pallet, the right of the pallet, and the ramp's on the left, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. And you just kind of have to break the pallet. Most of these pallets, you don't want to break them. Some of the ones, like with the short wall and the long wall on each side, you can do better with it, especially if you have the survivor trapped. Um, yeah, it's an okay map. I like it. Less clutter than it was in the PTB from things I've seen. Um, yeah. I just, it's a little hard sometimes playing Singularity for the fact of trying to look through all of the cameras is just pain. You see everything other than the survivors, and the survivors have all these areas where they can just hide behind stuff, which, granted, is a good counter, but it is pain. It is pain. Moving on, his ability to play on other maps is, I think, really good. Groaning Storehouse was a fun match for me, and at some point I thought I had lost the game. But he's got the ability to come back if played correctly, especially if the team plays a certain way sometimes. If they're too altruistic, you can capitalize on that. Um, they did get my Devour Hope early, which sucked. But it is what it is. At one point in the match, you'll even see that I have two bipods set up, one inside and one outside of the building, set up to, hit anybody with slipstream to defend a gen, and people ran inside the building all the time, so I just thought it was better if I just, why not just have one inside, right? And, yeah, it was an interesting match. I never really hated it. I mean, I really hated the Michaela. Michaela, you'll see, is a pain in the ass. Every time something's EMP'd, she's the one with it. Yeah. It was really annoying, and I think as Survivor, I think I'll enjoy this game. I think I'll enjoy this killer a lot to play against, because there's a lot of counters to him, and it's a lot of having fun, interesting ways to beat him with the new mate for this perk. But the problem at the same time is the fact of tunneling and camping. It's always going to be a pain in this game. It's going to always be a problem. And I think sometimes it'll be seen as a necessity with the way that how fast gens fly. Gens fly. They just do. Even with this build, you can see that gens are slow, yeah. But earlier that day, I'd been running Corrupt, I'd been running No Way Out, because I thought, hey, these would be pretty fun. Save the best for last, Jolt, things slowed the game down. Deadlock worked surprisingly well. It was constantly kicking off gens that they had been working on. They didn't seem to be playing like some proteins where they're like, boom, I have this gen ready to go if this one gets deadlocked, or we'll keep constantly have this one have it, and then we'll just we'll work on this one far away. It's always a pain to go against. Otherwise, I mean, it's a fun. Besides all the gen rushing, which is always going to be a problem, and same with camping and tunneling. Yeah, they're going to be adding the new feature whenever. I hope it works well. It should. I'm just worried about the fact that with some, it's a little hard to get kills sometimes, when all you need is just a nice little wait for them to come, where you just stay in the relative area. You don't want to stay like right in front of them. No face camping. They're good. I think it's good that they're trying to change face camping and make it so it's fair, so there's no more of the same. Yeah. Sweaty survivors, always gonna be a pain. Sweaty killers, always gonna be a pain. It's how people want to play the game. Yeah. That's all for my thoughts today. I'm worn out. I wanted to get this out for y'all. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. It's nothing with me talking. It's just the game. It's just the game. So I hope y'all enjoy the match. See what you think, and catch y'all later. Peace.
Genetic material ready for transport. Material is secured. Terrible construction. Out of my way. Grovel, grovel, little worm. Inferior. Squirm the little worm. Prepare to become something better.